Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem Rakakudash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, Haru Well. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Dawah from the Men of Valor Camp in Greenville, South Carolina, coming back with another video in sincerity and in truth. Lord willing to give you edifying. And I have a couple articles we're going to read through. All right, you know. So if you clicked on this video looking for some, folly or something of the sort, then you might want to click over to TikTok or some shit. This is just going to be the overall jobs report. And there was actually I don't know if it was Polymarket or who, but it was one of these, let me take this off with this. One of these analytic services that gathers intel and shit, takes consensus. And they said that AI is now the number one cause of job loss as of 2026, right? So they can't blame this on a recession. They can't blame this on, this is an AI-driven thing. And the thing is, they're setting up all these data centers, for this AI, boom, right? Because they're about to force everybody into this system. So they need the energy to sustain it, all right? And it's taking up, a lot of the fresh drinking water within the area, right? So they're doing this. A lot of it is causing concern within different communities, but it's being overrode, so to speak, overturned. There's no real jurisdiction behind it, and then they're going to do it all in the guidelines of safety. But right now, they're absolutely taking people's jobs. So we're going to read through this. Give me a second. Eve. Anyway, let's go into this one. All three of these from Zero Hedge. Oracle cuts 21,000 jobs as AI adoption deepens and credit risk flashes CFC or GFC era highs. All right, we'll just, I'll get to the meat of most of it. Usually they sum it up in the first couple articles. It says Oracle disclosed in a Form 10-K filing that it reduced its workforce by 21,000 employees over the past year as it automates white-collar jobs and frees up cash to splurge on AI infrastructure build-outs. And I said through the spirit, they're going to come for these white-collar jobs, man. These lower level, you went to college for this and that. If you're not a doctor, an engineer, a lawyer of some sort, I feel like I'm missing one. But those are the main ones that require those degrees. But they got, all these other people that have taken out student loans for these bullshit ass degrees, and they're getting out of college and their jobs are now obsolete, or their degrees are now obsolete because now their jobs, what they went to school for, is being replaced by AI. And that's even with these jobs that aren't taken over by AI, if you're using Indeed and shit, more than likely these companies are now they're sifting people via AI. The company can put in what it wants and they'll sift it to be able to weed you niggas out, man. Literally. They don't want Jake. They ended DEI. But even Edomites are complaining that there's no job. So this is all prophecy being fulfilled via Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. All right, because he said this was going to happen, and his word is being fulfilled. All right, so let's read some more. Our periodic workforce restructuring and reorganizations can be disruptive. See, they're telling you to your face that this shit is about to shake this shit up, man. And actually, that makes me think of a scripture before I even grab this. Micah, the 2nd chapter, in verse 1, it says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds." Okay, destruction unto them. Those that devise iniquity, they think about just mischief. They think about how to fuck people over. Okay? Who has that spirit on the earth? The same people whose spirit was on them to colonize everything and deem it their own. Okay? When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. Right, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof, and not wherein who is he? So not only would he be given the earth, but also he would cover the faces. Who did that? The so-called white man. It's evident. You can't argue against it. You got niggas that still trying to argue against that. You can't argue against that. Verse 2. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. Exactly. Them damn tiny tops over there, they get to be us, and they call us goy. They call us niggas. Hard R's. They fit this perfectly. Yeah, they are in the Bible, but not as the Lord's people, as the ones that the Lord despises and have indignation forever. Verse 3, it says, therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because the Lord, he proceeds with the judgment. He identifies them and then proceeds with the judgment. Behold, against this family do I devise an evil from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go haughtily, for the time is evil, meaning the time is bad. It says, in that day shall one take up a parable against you and lament with a doleful lamentation and say, we be utterly spoiled. He have changed the portion of my people. How have he removed it from me? Turning away, he have divided our fields. Therefore thou shalt have none that shall cast a cord by lot in the congregation of the Lord. You know, but the point is these niggas, man. And the Lord, he identifies them and then he proceeds with the judgment against his people that move like this. So going back, it says our periodic workforce restructuring and reorganizations can be disruptive, meaning they about to put you niggas out of work, man. All of you. 21,000 just at Oracle. And Oracle, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is loaned by Larry Ellison, if I'm saying his name correctly. It says Oracle said in the annual financial regulatory published on Monday, adding, we have an existing restructuring plan in place under which we have made and will continue to make adjustments to our workforce in response to management changes, product changes, performance change issues, changes in strategies, acquisitions, and other internal and external considerations. In other words, again, the AI is more efficient. We're putting the AI in, and we don't care about your jobs. See, they have a solution for you. Elon Musk has been talking about this universal high income. It was universal. Was it universal basic income? Some shit like that. Now it's universal high income. Either way, it's you get to sit at home, probably play GTA 6. They send you money for your food and for your living, but they also tax you on your carbon intake. They're going to keep you niggas in the house, whether it's via another pandemic or the fear of a pandemic or whatever the fuck it is. But you people can be confined to these 15-minute cities. Meanwhile, they're, and they have full control of your life. This is where this is leading. It says it noted we may initiate new restructuring plans in the future. In addition, the adoption and deployment of AI technologies across our operations have resulted and may continue to result in reductions to our workforce. They are saying they're not even hiding it. They're not even hiding this shit. It noted we may hold on, I don't want to read the same. Yep, it says the following detail how the tech company or the tech giant ended its fiscal year with 141,000 full-time employees, down from 162,000 a year earlier. They were already been trimming the fat. Costs associated with the workforce reduction totaled around 1.8 billion. All right, so they making their bread by cutting you niggas jobs. Labor cuts come as Oracle faces pressure amid its 55.7 billion capital expenditure spending spree in fiscal 2026, which is almost entirely tied to its AI cloud and data center build out. So they're involved in the data center game. So they're building the data centers and putting you niggas out of work even before the robots are put in there. That was up from 21.2 billion in fiscal 2025. Damn. Meaning CapEx more than doubled year over year. Yeah. So they done spent double. So they're speeding this shit up, man. To put it plainly. For fiscal 2027, Oracle is guiding even higher, about 70 billion in CapEx, plus another 20 billion to 25 billion of spending that expects customers to repay. Whoa. They expect customers to repay this shit. Meaning they gonna charge you niggas for using this shit, and that's gonna pay for it. They ain't having to put up any money for this shit. You know, they're gonna spend it on the front end, and they're saying y'all gonna pay for it. Just give us the credit line. And they playing at the highest level. It says that implies up to 95 billion for AI and data center capex in the current fiscal year. Bloomberg was the first to report in March that Oracle planned to cut its workforce as it aggressively spent on AI data center build-outs. Wall Street analysts forecast that the cloud unit's data center spending will drive Oracle's cash flow negative through the end of the decade, with the payoff not expected until 2030. In January, Oracle announced plans to raise 50 billion in debt and equity. Ooh, so there, man. And that's all I'm gonna read from that one. That one got, all the meat off the bone. And they're saying the shit is negative, so they're not even gonna be profitable till 2030. But they're raising all this money to build this out. This is Job chapter 5 and verse 12. Job 5 and 12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. You see that? Their hands cannot perform their enterprise, meaning they're setting this shit up, but they're not going to be able to finish it. When he's about to fill his belly, the Lord is going to cast his fury upon him and rain upon him while he is eating. So yeah, they can set it up because it's prophecy that they'll set it up, meaning they're getting ready for the sea hip as well. So I might end up actually breaking this up in 3 because these are pretty extensive. But the other 2 are automakers race into humanoid robots as timeline for blue-collar job disruption emerges. Right, it all ties to the same thing. And then it says AI reshaping U.S. jobs, but not yet triggering mass unemployment, says European Central Bank. So it's right now, even the job cuts that you're seeing aren't the full, extent of the job cuts that are coming, which all leads to what? Let's go ahead and grab it. Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 1, it says, remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain, and the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. So your financial analysts, your Jim Cramers, your Steve Schwartzmans that run these, multi-billion-dollar corporations that are acquiring all the, and also they said that Trump isn't trying to sign this bill until, or he's not going to basically ban private equity from buying up all the, the residential homes, which they already own the most residential homes in America. But not only that, but also he's going to hold off on Or basically, he wants him to sign off on this Save America Act, which it can't be good if Congress it won't pass the shit, you know, which he was supposed to sign off on this House bill today, right? But it's not looking good. Hey, inflation is at what, 4.2, 4.3% they're reporting. You know, they got a new Fed chair in there, and he's being set up. They're setting up the foundation for the NWO, for a centralized, automated, ran technocracy, if you want to call it that, where a small few have the privileges and everybody else is tied to this system. And if you speak out against the damn tiny tots, your ass you're gonna be cut off from society. That's why these damn tiny tots are so emboldened by this shit, because they got their hand so far up damn the US's ass, and everybody sees it now. It doesn't even matter. You didn't already took it. You take somebody out, everybody knows you. You know? The Lord said he would make these small among the heathen and despise among the people. And he's doing it. All right, but hey, he's about to take you people out, you proud ass people, out as well. You about to lose your jobs, which the Lord put the spirit on Esau to tie America to these damn jobs, to the illusion of the middle class. All these people propped up on debt. When they lose their damn jobs, they're gonna default on their debt. And hey, I perceive through the spirit the way they're gonna get these people to be relieved of it is they clear it if they take this MOTB. A lot of people would take it. You know, to keep their house, to keep their cars, to keep their things. That's why the Lord commanded us to, you know, depart from this world. We might have to give, brothers, you know, the spirit has been on them to say, we may have to give some of these things up. So it also speaks about the grind and cease, because there are few. So the workflow is gonna stop, which means when the work stops, the spending stops, the consumerism stops. And this society has been propped up on consumer spending. America is the largest consumer in the world. The amount of consumption here and gluttony. You know, gluttony. So AI is playing a major factor now in the cutting of these jobs. So don't get too comfortable, like Future say. Your job is not safe. And that's why we trust upon Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and I'll finish off here. Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 20, it says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. See? And who smote us? Esau. The same motherfuckers that we go to for our payments. Because we're subject to payments, but you know, they give us a few shekels of money with their face on it to buy and sell. But there's coming a time where we're not going to be able to function in this society without receiving an MOTB. And the Lord is going to step in and intervene. Because they propped up this system on being dependent on them. Right? So we're not going to have to worry about that. The Lord said, you know, don't, you know, take no thought what you shall eat, what you shall drink, wherewithal shall you be clothed. Because the heathen got to worry about that. We don't have to worry about that. The Lord got us. But you people are done. You're out of here. Finito. Gone. Kiss your jobs goodbye. Your white collar, because you know white collar come with a certain that corporate America come with a certain spirit on it, a certain sense of fucking pride. The Lord, he's killing all that shit, man. The Lord willing, is that fine? I'm gonna give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Makakwadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone who rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Till next time, shalom.